would you guys describe this show in your own words?
Epic.
Yeah.
I love that.
An epic tale of adventure and self-discovery and coming of age, and they're excited about it.
Yeah. I think it's a very modern take on a classic story because the book is already pretty old. It's from 1962. So I think we're trying to convey the same message as the original did, but in a very modern way, and we're trying to resonate more with today's youth.
Yeah. And how do you think today's teens will kind of engage with the characters and what they're going through?
I think the fact that they're just really ordinary people, ordinary kids going through the same, going through puberty, going through the same like adolescent experiences as normal kids.
Yeah.
They're just in kind of extraordinary circumstances.
It's like none of the novices are like special or anything. They're all normal, and you get to watch them, discover themselves as the story progresses, as the series progresses. So
Discover what they think is right instead of listening to what they're told is right.
Yeah.
And I also think, just in terms of like the diversity of our cast, it just means that on many levels there'll be someone
Inspires
that
someone.
everyone will be able to relate to.
Yeah, I love that. What is the biggest challenge for you guys about this? It's obviously set in medieval times. You're riding horses, the costumes, the weaponry. Like, did you guys have any challenges with filming?
Actually, go ahead.
Yeah, no, horses and sword fighting were a challenge. In the beginning, as I said,
Yeah.
in the beginning it was a challenge, but as you do everything, it gets easier over time. Yeah.
And also, as it got easier, it starts helping you get into the character.
Yeah,
Your costume, everything, your makeup, how the scenery, the beautiful scenery, the sets.
Being on location
being on
definitely helped.
location.
Yeah, where'd you guys film?
New Zealand,
New Zealand and
Prague.
Prague.
Yeah.
And Prague, yeah.
I think that we had so we did 2 months in New Zealand, then we had a break, January, maybe the start of Feb, and then we went to Prague for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And I think that break is something I actually struggle with, because usually you shoot consistently and you do it all at once, but to have that break, I was like, oh, okay, stepping away, and then coming back to Iona a month or 2 after, and having done so much. That was quite a challenge.
Yeah.
Fun challenge though.
And also, like normally, most series they shoot in blocks and stuff. Like episode 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. But this we shoot completely out of order because we were in New Zealand and we're in Prague, and you can't really make sure you film in chronological order when you're there. So that also sometimes came as a challenge, because I would be walk into a building in New Zealand and then come out in the building in Prague.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was like right at the start when we were in New Zealand to be filming like episode 4 or 5 stuff on maybe our first week. It was so weird. She's like, I don't actually know where she sits yet, and you learn as you go, and you find so much about the character that surprises you, and you're like, oh damn, we've already shot that. Yeah.
Nice. Well, as you guys are kind of like learning and exploring the characters, did you see similarities or differences between yourself and your characters?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Will, our writer, he was so collaborative, and when we first got to New Zealand, he sat us down for an hour and we had a chat about the character, and I think it was really important to him that these people felt real, and he took on board ideas that we had, and like he let me keep my own accent, which I felt so empowered by, because a lot of the time you don't hear a Northern Irish accent, but like we exist, we're here, so it's really great to have been given that freedom.
Oh, I hope no similarity. No, I'm a lunatic in real life. No, I'm No, I did. He's kind of introvert, Viridian, so I think that's the biggest similarity between me and him. But apart from that, I'm really happy to have a great distance between the two of us.
Yeah.
I like to think that I'm feisty and have my times, like Lavinia.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm nowhere
you are.
near as feisty as Lavinia. I think, at the beginning, she's kind of just a bit selfish and only focused on her own goals. But then as she meets Chewie, she becomes more caring. I like to think I'm quite caring.
I make her a bad person.
Yeah, you do.
And then this show has it's drawn some comparisons to Game of Thrones with the whole like adventure aspect to it. How do you guys see this show kind of fitting into that realm? Do you think the comparisons are accurate? Or?
They're both medieval fantasies, and they're
It's
both
very much in its own realm. It's not in the Game of Thrones realm.
Yeah, no, it's there's obviously there's themes that you see because they're both medieval.
Yeah.
The sword fighting, the horses. But yeah, I guess
There are still complex characters that you're really, really interested in,
Mm-hmm.
but it's way more approachable for a way wider audience.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing you can watch
As
with
a
your family.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
People of all, it works on levels for people of all ages, which arguably Game of Thrones doesn't, but
Yeah.
True. What would you guys say what fans will fall in love about this show? Like, what will resonate the most with people?
I actually think it's. I didn't realize when we were shooting this, but watching it, it's quite funny.
Yeah.
There are
It
so
is.
many moments of just like, and what's funny is that the characters aren't trying to make a joke. And that I think in life that's where humor comes from. You say something so it's just in a response.
Comes
And,
naturally,
yeah. It's not forced. And all the characters are so complex. Everyone's on their own journey, and you can see that they're all trying to do the right thing. They're doing it with the best intentions. Sometimes that comes across in a bit misinterpreted, but I think they're all just trying to do
You can
good.
still see that
Yeah.
you can still see that you're trying to do good for the world. You're still trying to save the world, but you're just a bit misguided.
Very much misguided. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you two ladies in the show, obviously in medieval times, like women weren't really in the forefront as much. So how will we get to see your characters kind of show that female strength?
I think what's great is that we're women, they're obviously, but what's fab is that it doesn't matter, I think, to both of our characters. It's not mentioned once in the script, that we're women. When you're with the novices, there's not a single joke made about you being a girl and you being inferior.
Yeah.
It's not, it doesn't matter that we're women, we're just strong people. And
Yeah.
The strongest
Yeah,
characters
I really
in
love
the
that.
we're
entire
proud.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, as in, there's not a big deal that you guys are women. It's just that you guys are the same. And there's just no difference.
But at the same time, it's really, really empowering being able to play such a strong character.
I've said
As a woman.
it so many times in these interviews, like, I wish that I had someone like Iona to watch or look up to when I was younger. And I think it's really important that we do have that representation. But that's not the only
that's
thing
not
that's
the point,
important.
yeah.
It's just that these people exist, boy or girl, they are strong, they are there, and I think that's really cool to see.